What is up again, everybody? Today is going to be a big day. It's going to be a long day, that much is for sure. And today we're putting on the front struts and ball joints to the Speed 3, and we're also compressing down the springs and switching them to the new struts. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Alright, so we got the tire off, and what you're going to need to unattach from the strut itself, you're going to have to detach this sway bar link right here, this bolt. You're gonna have to unclip this little wiring, and you just pull that off of this little clip and you can just set that to the side. There's also a clip right here that connects to this little attachment to the strut, and this hosing to the brake lines will come off, so there's a little clip there. And then there is a bolt which is right here, and so I'm going to spray those all down with WD-40, or just the bolt with WD-40 really quick. And I'm going to spray this other side as well. And I'm going to spray the sway bar link as well. That should be okay because I recently replaced those. But now I'm going to take the sway bar link off, the clip, and that bolt. And then also on top, in the inside of the engine, you'll see 3 bolts. I'll get to those later, and those will also have to be done. So this clip right here needs to be taken out. Oh, there it goes. So here's that clip. Here's this little clip, and you can just pry that out, and now these lines will pop out. So you pull it down and then it pops out, and you can just stick this to the side so it's not in your way. So now all that's left to do is this bolt from the sway bar link and then the bolt to the strut itself. For this sway bar link bolt, it is a size 15. So should come out just like that. Yep, just as I thought. Since it's a new sway bar link, it's still stiffer than Richard's, so the ball joint in there is still stiff, so this nut will just come right off easily. And if it wasn't, you would have to put a Allen wrench in that hole right there, and then you'd have to undo it with a wrench and the Allen wrench. It would go a lot slower, but since it's new, came out like a charm, thankfully, make this a lot easier. And also, as you can see, it's not coming out. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to jack up this wheel right here, the strut, until the bolt lines up with the hole, and then you can just remove it. Alright, so either move this down, this strut up or down, either jack it up, or in this case I had to push mine down, and then this will pop out to the side, and that can just stay there. This little bracket, I set it to the side, and now is that final bolt, which is holding the strut itself on. So I will take that off. That's a 17mm. So I'm going to use my air tool to get that off. If you don't have an air tool, you can do it by hand. It'll work just as well, but I'm kind of in a hurry to get this done. Alright, so I turned up the boost on this air gun, and now it should come out. I'm pretty sure it will come out, so let's give it a go. There you go. There is your bolt. So now what we're going to do is pop the hood. Now that the hood is popped, we can loosen but not completely undo these 3 bolts. They are a size 14 bolt. So once you have these 3 bolts loosened, this is the final step to getting the strut off. I'm gonna have to get a hammer, and I'm gonna have to get a hammer and a piece of wood and put a hurt on this. We're gonna have to hit that till it comes off, and then we can disattach this strut. So let's get us a fat hammer. Alright, so just start beating it. Alright, so it's starting to go. Alright, so now that this strut is out, you can now lift it out, or actually it's time to undo those top bolts. Alright, so there we go. This strut out. Alright. Now that we got this strut out, we need the spring off of it. So using this little tool here, I'm going to hook it up to the spring and I'm going to compress it. And then from there, I will swap it to the new strut. Alright, so that one side is on. So now those need to be compressed. That way we can remove them from this old one. So there it is. And now we just need to tighten them and they will be compressed together and we can remove this top part right here. So now we need to undo this bolts right here and then the top will come off and we can take the spring out. So this is the setup we got going, the Allen wrench, and it's just pressing up against the ground and I'm undoing this top bolt. Now that this bolt is out, we can take this top part out, this whole section right here. This can come out and we will be putting in our new and improved konis. So let me just take these out here. Right. Yep, this is the right one. And you can insert it back into it like so. But first, before I do that, I'm going to clean up these springs a little bit just so they're looking a little bit nicer. They've got a bunch of crap all over them. So alright, so after using some brake cleaner on those are looking pretty good again. And we can now put this new strut into there. This little boot can slide back over. Is on and you can push this centerpiece down until it lines up how it was before. Now you can put your top bolt back on. We can slowly decompress those springs down. Alright, and there we go. There are the new springs attached. Looking fresh. Now it's time to put everything back to the way it was before. The new struts goes in, everything tightened down, and then after that we'll move on to the next part, which is changing the ball joint. Oh. Alright, there we go. Now we just need to shimmy it up into place how it was before and just wiggle it around. That should slide in just like that, and from there you can reinsert your bolt back into place and screw it. Yeah, it's size 17. I'm gonna crank this by hand. You know what? Screw that. I'm going fully auto. Alright. So that is tightened. We will use the final touches and tighten it by hand. That bolt is in place. Now we can realign this sway bar bolt, and this piece will go in right here. And I'm going to need to lower this jack in order to do that, get it lined up. That's good. We need to put this little bracket back that holds this little wire that goes to the brakes, I believe. That's a size 15, I believe. So that is tightened. Now we can reconnect this little piece of wiring here. It just clips back into place. There we go. We can reconnect this right here. Brake line needs to go back in the hole. Now you can slide your clip back into place. The clip's back into place. And if that was all you were doing, the only thing left to do is to tighten those bolts up top, which I will do right now. Alright, so this is going to be, I guess, considered part 2 of the video. Since I'm already messing around with the taking everything apart of the car, the strut is off. I need to replace the ball joint because it is shot. And the ball joint is located right here. This is the bolt that holds it on. So what you're going to have to do to get to the ball joint is that bolt right here needs to be taken off. Let me spray her down a little bit. This bolt is stuck in there, so let me give it a little bit of incentive to move. If I finally got that bolt out, and now should be able to get this ball joint out. Detach this section from the control arm, the wheel bearing from the control arm, so I can pop this up, and then I'll have access to the ball joint, which then I'll have to press out. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take out the whole control arm itself. There's those 2 bolts right there. Those are both size 17. And then this bolt right here, which is size 19. So I'm going to take those off. And then I'm just going to remove the whole control arm, and it'll be a lot easier to get that ball joint out. And there you go. It is down. So now I'm going to go back to the front. There's that ball joint. I'm going to go back to the front and hammer that out. And then I'll be able to press it and put the new one in. And there we go. There's that ball joint. And it should not be moving this easily. See how easily that moves? So what we're going to do is we're going to press this out and then press in the new one. But I rented and you can do this too, from O'Reilly's. You can rent a ball joint press, and it comes in a little box like this. You can rent it, and when you're done you bring it back and you get fully refunded your money. And I've never used one of these before, so this is my first time, and hopefully it works. Use this U-joint clamp thing, and I kind of got it out, but it wasn't working. I couldn't get it again, and so then I just took it with a hammer, put it in this little thing, and hammered it out right on top. And as you can see, this ball joint it moves up and down, and it moves side to side really easily, so that's not good. I'm going to clean up this circle around here a little bit with some sandpaper, clean it up, and then I'm going to press the new one into place. This ball joint is in place. Took long enough, and it comes with a little safety ring. Alright, and this Moog ball joint is also re-greasable. So it has this little nipple that goes on the back. I'm going to screw that in, but I'm not going to tighten it all the way, just so I can make fine-tune adjust it once it's on the car. Alright, so there's that. And then it also came with a new nut and bolt, which I'll be using to reinstall on the car. And now, since everything is all done, I can reinstall this control arm and with this new ball joint on there. I don't know if you had to take off the whole control arm, but I thought it'd be a little bit easier. Alright, so now I just need to put in the control arm, which reattaches right up here and then in this slot right here, and then the ball joint connects down here, and I need to put that bolt. So once that's all together, I'll get back so you can see it done. Underneath, I inserted the ball joint into its spot right there, and now I can put the new nut and bolt into place. And I'm not going to tighten that, I'm just going to leave it on there just for now, because I still have to put the bolts to the control arm. I did get this one on this side, so this one right here is in. I just need to tighten that down. I need to put the other two in. These 3 bolts underneath are officially tightened. Now I just need to go and tighten this bolt right here. Be sure to go back and check all your bolts to make sure you tightened everything down, and I did. So we can throw the tire back on and we are done. Alright guys, so the side that I was working on is complete. The koni struts are installed and the Moog ball joint is installed as well. It took a little longer than I expected, but that's usually how things go. So yeah, if you liked the video or learned anything new, or if it was informational at all, give the video a like and comment down below what you guys think of the koni struts and anything else you guys want to comment. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that button and check out any other videos of mine that you haven't already seen. And yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna get started on the other side of the Speed 3, so peace out, have a great life.